Have you done this with another Reddit artist yet?
I have not. You're the first.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Hey, let's go.
You'll kick off a new artist interview series, maybe.
That would be dope.
That would be dope. What's up, everyone? Broken here. You asked for it, and here it is finally. The first artist interview on this channel. I started by asking the popular Gen 1 artist WorstTwitchEver, or Chrono as he goes by, and he was nice enough that he agreed to do an interview with me. Chrono does the popular Gen 1 avatars Ryza, Etsuko, and Miran, and he participated in the Gen 2 and 3 drops as well. Big thanks to Chrono for doing this. Like you all have said, it's really cool to be able to put a face to a name, and that's what I'm trying to accomplish by doing interviews like this. Interviews are by far the most requested type of content that I get, and I hope I can do more like this if you guys enjoy it. I hope you all like this one. It's a longer video, but I really enjoyed talking with him and hearing about his inspiration behind his avatars, and how he got involved in the program in the first place. I've included timestamps as well for general topics of discussion in the interview. Enjoy! Alright, here with Chrono. Chrono, first, thanks for doing this, man.
I appreciate you for having me, man.
Absolutely. Kind of just going to start basic here. I think I might have already seen you tell this story, but for anyone unfamiliar, how did you get involved in the Reddit's collectible avatar artist program in the first place?
Yeah, so it's been technically like a sequence of events that kind of started ever since December of 2021. So I started an internship with the company, and my mentor, she wanted to get to know me better, so she asked me like what are my dream companies, and one of the companies I mentioned was Discord, and she said like, oh, like I personally know some people over there, so I could maybe kind of like put you in the spotlight for them to look at your stuff, but in order for me to do that, you have to essentially prove your worth as like a designer and like make something that catches their eye, right? So I had to think to myself like, okay, what am I gonna do that will like knock their socks off or something? So what I decided to do was, so on Discord, there's that thing called Hype Squad. It's like, honestly, it's like kind of dead because I feel like it hasn't been touched in like years because of COVID. And I feel like it's pretty much like an Easter egg now because like you go into the settings, you click Hype Squad, you do that little quiz, you get the badge, and then that's it. There's nothing else really to it. So what I decided to do was pretty much reimagine it as like a convention. Think of it like TwitchCon in a way. And when making this convention, like I pretty much had to study Discord's branding. They have their PDF online, like you just search it up and then download it. And it's a very like extensive PDF that tells you like everything that they do in regards to like the do's and don'ts of how to design things and like their culture and values and things like that. So I pretty much had to study that like very extensively to design this, and I was working on this for about 3 months because I was also juggling that same internship as well as my college semester starting. And once I finally finished it, I made it, and like my mentor, she had sent it to some people over at Discord. But the bad news for that is like nothing really happened with that. But I was like, you know what? It's fine because I end up having a very strong portfolio piece that's still in my portfolio as of right now. And I think one day I was like, you know what? Let me just upload my stuff onto r/graphic design. I was like, why not, right? Get some more eyes on it.
For sure.
And I uploaded it, got some attention. I mean, considering the subreddit's like over 1 million members, I think that post had probably the most engagement I've seen in terms of views. It was probably, I think it reached like 20K, if I'm not, I mean, more or less.
No kidding.
Definitely got some critiques, like saying some things that people want to say is what it is. I ended up actually getting an actual designer at Discord. She saw the project and she gave it a compliment. I was like, oh, that's very nice. She said it was very like on point with the branding. But then 2 weeks later, after uploading that, I get a notification on my phone, and it said that I received a Turnian award. And this is my first time ever receiving a Turnian from the couple of years I've been just uploading things on Reddit. And I wanted to see who uploaded this or who gave me the Turnian. So I clicked on the person's name, and at the same time they sent me a message through Reddit, and they were telling me about this brand new program that they were starting, the collectible avatars program. And they wanted to know if I was like interested in it because they saw my profile and I was like, and then they were like, oh yeah, you have been here for like a couple of years, you regularly post, you have like a decent amount of karma. So yeah, we just wanted to like know if you're interested. And they asked me like some basic questions like, are you over 18? Do you know how to use Adobe Illustrator? Things like that. And just like other artists, I assumed that it was just a scam. Like it was like some person trying to like, I don't know, get something out of me, like
I think I would
information
too,
or
honestly.
yeah, probably just like siphon all my money away or something.
Yeah.
And so there's something I did notice in their profile. There was a little Reddit logo next to their name. I thought that was odd because I'd never seen that before. So I literally did a Google search, typing in like, what does it mean when there's a Reddit logo next to a person's profile on Reddit? And then the first thing that pops up, it says they're an employee. So I was like, oh, okay. And then I took another gander at the profile and I was like, oh, wait a second. They have like an insane amount of awarder karma. It's like in the hundreds of thousands, which makes sense because I'm assuming as a Redditor or a Reddit employee, you can just have an infinite award glitch. You can just give out tourneys like nothing. I was like, okay, that makes sense. It's like, okay, this is possibly real then. So then I was like, yeah, I'm interested. And then maybe like a week or a week and a half later, I get onboarded, just like every other Gen 1 artist, and then the rest is history.
There you go. Nice. So kind of through the graphic design subreddit, if I heard that subreddit right?
Yeah.
Cool. Nice. Wow. And yeah, I heard that's how like a lot of the Gen 1 artists were onboarded, was just through like Reddit reaching out to them because they were prominent in whatever subreddits they happened to be participating in, right?
That's correct. I'm pretty sure everybody from Gen 1 got contacted through Reddit DMs.
Nice. Awesome, man. Way to go. Were you a big user of Reddit like before you got involved in the Avatar community? Like, is your Reddit account pretty old at this point?
I think my Reddit account is 5 years old. If it is 5, then it's pushing 6 because my cake day is like August something. But honestly, I started using Reddit because at the time when I made it, I was kind of in my, I was in like my YouTuber phase, like uploading YouTube videos and trying to like quote unquote get big. And back at that time, I was uploading a lot of League of Legends videos. Like I'll play random champions, like make montages out of them. And then I would upload those montages into the specific subreddits because like every character in the game has their own subreddit. So like the people who main the character, like yeah, their own subreddit.
No, I'm a fellow League player, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's been a while for me, but I used to play. I have thousands of hours in League of Legends, so.
Do you still play?
Not much anymore. I used to jungle. I used to Amumu jungle was my. That'll tell you how long ago I used to play. But.
Well, if you don't play as much anymore, that's a good sign.
yeah, maybe. I'm married now, so a little less time for video games nowadays. So. That's cool. So yeah, you used to like try to get on YouTube, doing content for League of Legends or just video games in general.
Yeah, I would upload those montages I make to the subreddits, like just get more attraction, and because of that, my Reddit username WorstTwitchEver is in fact a League of Legends reference. Twitch, the character. Because back in the day, I was a very big Twitch main.
Yeah.
Like at one point, he was like my one trick, right? And in my profile, he is my most played champion in terms of mastery points. So
yeah,
that's why my name is like WorstTwitchEver. People thought I was like a Twitch streamer. I was like, no, I'm not a Twitch streamer. It's just it's actually a League of Legends reference.
Yeah, I guess we won't get too into the weeds of League of Legends because I could talk about League of Legends for hours. All right, let's see. Beyond Reddit, what other kind of art do you do? Is it just for fun, like kind of a hobby art for you, or are you trying to get more serious with it?
Yeah, so before this whole Reddit thing, I pretty much did fan art for like pretty much all the art that I drew on, like my favorite shows or whatnot. I would just draw the characters in my style, and then past Reddit, past Gen 1 at least, I started to like my characters that I made more and more, because I feel like this opportunity given to me at a quote unquote young age, because when I started the program, I was 20 years old. Now I'm 21. So as a 20-year-old, having given this opportunity to like work with like a very global company alongside many talented creators, I'm like, okay, there's like this new path that's been opened up to me, right? And it may be not wise to not take the path. So I feel like the path that I'm envisioning is like just keep pursuing and creating the universe that I have made with my avatars. So like Gen 1, for example, they were based off of a comic that I made for a school project back in 2020. And I remember when having to like create avatars during Generation 1, I thought to myself like, okay, what am I gonna make? I have absolutely no idea. But then it just occurred to me like, oh, I have these characters that I made with this comic in this one class I did. I guess it would be interesting to have them as like my avatars. So then I brought that into the Reddit avatars, and now ever since it's like it's my most popular collection. People know me most for that, and there are definitely like many people who like the whole like world building and universe that it has, and they want me to like continue it, like make more things. So yeah.
Nice. Yeah. So I've seen you post before that like Ryza and Etsuko and Miran are all like, and they're like if I recall, they're like kind of superheroes, right? They all have like their power or something like that.
Yeah, so with the world building, they're basically just like normal people, quote unquote. But like the avatars that you see of them, they're like that's like their prime, I guess you can say, like them reaching like their enlightenment basically.
There you go.
But I haven't fully developed that side yet, like the human-ish side. But they are like I want to like kind of create like a sort of shonen power system where it was like at least something unique, right? So I took inspiration from like Hunter x Hunter's like Nen and JoJo's Stan's abilities, and I wanted to like make something like that because I feel like those power systems specifically compared to like others are like very unique. There's like a lot of like individualism with them, and it has a lot of character. So I wanted to take color psychology and Buddhism. I took those two things. It's very random. I took those two things and just mashed it together. So basically, they kind of like do Buddhist practices in a way. It's like their soul reflects their personality, and because of that, they get assigned like a color, and like the color reflects what power they have, right? So, for example, like Ryza would be on the yellow spectrum. So because of that, he's like he has lightning powers, right? Things like that.
Right on. That's cool that there's anime inspiration behind your avatars. I don't think I knew that. I know obviously Jimmy Guo is very like anime inspired, but I didn't realize that yours were as well.
Yeah, his take it up like levels ahead. He makes the he is the waifu creator. I'll give him that.
Persephone and all those, right?
All of them.
All of them, yeah. More about the avatars. We've seen you participate in all 3 generations, obviously, of avatar drops. Do you have a favorite set of yours specifically, or can you narrow it down to just a single avatar that you like the most of yours?
So, with how much I've been talking about Gen 1, I think it's no surprise that I would say Gen 1 is my answer, because they actually have a story that's dated back even before the program's existence. But when it comes to narrowing it down to one avatar within that collection, I cannot give you an answer. I cannot pick one that I like the most, because each one has like this thing about them that I really like, which I can't put on top the other ones. Like for example, in general, Etsuko is like the fan favorite amongst everyone who sees my collection. Most people tend to like Etsuko for whatever reason. Maybe because she has a waifu, or they just like the bubblegum nature, or looks cute.
Yeah.
I guess for Miran, he looks the most detailed. I mean, he is technically like the hardest avatar that I did design in Gen 1. It took me the most time and like fiddling around because those damn swirls were too annoying to design. And then for Ryza, he is like the OG compared to those three because when designing my Gen 1s, I had Ryza already there, and then I had two other designs. But those two characters, they got rejected. Now, the reason is honestly BS, I'm not gonna lie. They said, oh, these avatar designs, there's already avatars like that in the builder. But I was like, where? I don't see it. Well, I was like, you know what, whatever. So I had to design two brand new concepts. So I was like, okay, what do I do? And I didn't want to make anything like super cliche because I already have a lightning avatar. I didn't want to make like a water avatar. Actually, I already did make a water avatar. That got rejected.
No,
So I was like, okay, do I make a fire avatar? Or do I make an earth avatar? And I was like, this sounds kind of weird. Like, I'm not trying to do all that. So then, like, I was just like Googling like things. I was like, I need some sort of random material to like make a character out of. So then I just thought of bubblegum. I was like, perfect. Etsuko. And then I was like, okay, I need something else, something a bit more vague. Illusions, Miran, perfect. So honestly, yeah, going back to my answer, it's like I just cannot pick. I cannot pick a character that I would deem my favorite. But in terms of generation, it's Generation 1 by far.
Yeah, I think Generation 1. I think Generation 1's obviously the most memorable just because maybe there's the nostalgia factor to it or whatever, but I think my personal favorite is Miran. I've probably had him since like a month after they were released or something like that. And yeah, you can tell that with him, the swirls like have a little more going on than the other avatars. So I think that'd be my favorite. But interesting that you can't, they're like all three of those are just your children. You can't pick a favorite.
I cannot pick a favorite, no.
Okay. I'm on the Discord a lot, and I've noticed that there's a lot of not safe for work edits of your avatars. Do you have any comments on that?
No. Okay, so honestly, I don't even remember how any of this started.
I don't even know
I think
why.
I don't know why either, but I don't know. They just I honestly don't remember the person who did this, but they just took Etsuko and like made her white. And we kind of, I don't have to say it, but we know.
Right, we know.
And then I don't know, that just kind of like became a gag.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, it's a funny gag. Don't get me wrong, but like
It's
why
like-
me?
Yeah,
Why
right?
me?
Why pick you and do that to you?
But this is the person who I do know is Demonism. Demonism, if you're watching this, I'm onto your. You took Miran, you took his arm, photoshopped it as a, you know.
Oh man, moving on. We're gonna move on. Let's see. So as far as spooky season and future realities go, were those are kind of the same in universe kind of avatars as Enlightenment?
Yeah, so when Gen 2 came out, or was coming out, like the theme is Halloween, so I thought to myself, like, okay, what am I gonna make? Something spooky related, obviously. But I didn't want to go the cliche route where it's like, oh, a pumpkin snow or like a Dracula snow or something, because in my personal opinion, when it comes to like holiday skins like that, obviously it works within the time being, but like let's say a month later, are you still gonna wear it? It's like wearing a Halloween skin on Christmas. Doesn't make sense. It just some things that it doesn't feel right. So I wanted to make something that's like just overall scary, but like it doesn't go into any sort of cliche route. And I remember in one of my classes that I took previously, back when Gen 1 was in production, I was taking this class. I had designed these deck of cards, and the theme that I picked for these cards were diseases, and with each disease that I picked, I had basically done like a character design for them. And I took general inspiration from that. I was like, okay, I'm gonna like take these character designs that I made and pretty much turn them into avatars. But I did also like do a bunch of inspiration scrolling through Pinterest as well. So then those like my Gen 2s. And then one day I just decided, like, you know what? These characters are gonna be in the Enlightenment universe. But honestly, I haven't like fully fleshed out like anything which actually confirms it. I just say it, but I guess if I say it, then it is true, I guess. And for Gen 3, if you've read the description for Thunder, it basically confirms that Gen 2 avatars and Gen 1 avatars are in the same universe, and there's a multiverse. So the description of Thunder pretty much said like, in an alternate timeline, Ryza fights the Vision in a battle to the death, and in the quote-unquote normal timeline, Ryza wins. He beats the Vision. But in this timeline, they both die. And the Buddhists like really that. They were like, yo, Ryza G for that. So they made a mecha version of Ryza to like carry on his like legacy. So that's why Thunder is like kind of reminiscent to Ryza in a way. For virtual reality and NY Samurai, they're just in there. Like they're not really related to like the other avatars per se. They're just kind of in the same alternate timeline as Thunder. Yeah, they're just other characters that are like in there.
Okay, cool. So it sounds like you're still kind of like doing the world building a little bit as far as like your Enlightenment universe is concerned.
Things are just building as they go on.
We all know you're obviously an artist, but do you collect these avatars as well? And if you do, who is your favorite other artist to collect?
I'm not gonna lie, I am probably the only artist in this program who has ever bought a single avatar. Not even my own. I've spent $0 on avatars. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, all right.
Check my history. Check my Reddit profile, check my OpenSea. There's all free avatars and avatars that have been gifted to me.
So with avatars blowing up and becoming super popular the way they have, what's it like being an OG Gen 1 artist? You were kind of there for the ground level. Is that just like a cool experience where you get to flex on the other artists kind of thing?
Oh, it really is, because when I think about it, I'm basically one of the few chosen people. Like I believe Gen 1 had 29 artists, so I was handpicked in a group of 28 other people to basically start this program from the ground up. So essentially, in a way, you can think of it like as I helped build the foundation for the whole community, which is pretty crazy to think about, because this community has been going on for like over a year now. And
yeah, we just hit the anniversary. Yep.
Yeah. Honestly, when the anniversary came out, I completely forgot. I was like, oh wait, it's today? I was like, oh, cool.
Yeah, July 7th, I think it was. Yeah. Let's see. So I know you don't collect any of the other avatars, but do you have a favorite other artist or favorite other avatar, even if you don't necessarily collect their avatars?
Favorite artist? That's a tough question. Honestly, the two artists that I'm most close with are Penguin and Oni Cowboy. Both have very different styles, which I do appreciate. I do like Penguin's kind of like cutesy avatars and Oni's homage to like very Japanese aesthetic designs. I can't necessarily pick like I guess if I were to pick favorites from their collections that they've had, I'd say Penguin Pals, because it's like the Penguin avatar. It's literally him as an avatar basically.
Yeah.
And then I would say Oni's Pride, the dragon avatar.
Okay, so we obviously have a lot of new artists coming on board. First in Gen 3, but in Gen 4, it looks like there might be even more artists coming on board. Do you have any advice for any of them, or any mistakes that you made, or just any words for them in general?
I would say the number one thing to do is to actually be active in the community. Whether it be on the Reddit side or the Twitter side or the Discord side, like people genuinely appreciate when an artist is there actually communicating with the members, right? Because people think of it as like, oh, this cool artist who's like very talented, who is in like X stage of their career is like talking to me, right? And like I feel like, I mean, me personally, like I try to be like super active in the Discord server, in the avatar trading server. Like my server level is like over 50, so I mean that says something, right? But I don't know if like me personally, my quote unquote like status has like kind of like dropped down because I'm still active. I'm basically like, you can basically think of me as like one of the boys. But like maybe that's a good thing in its own way. Like people don't necessarily like put me on a pedestal. Like, oh, like bow down to this guy. They're like, oh yeah, Chrono, what's up, man? Right? Like I would rather have that sort of friendship with the community members, where like we're actually friends. It's not like some sort of like parasocial relationship or like some sort of like status thing where like I'm the artist, I'm on top, and like, oh, you're just a community member.
For
So
sure.
I'd say like just be very down to earth. That's the very simple answer.
Yeah, and I think people appreciate that you do that, because I'm in the Discord all the time, and I probably see you more than any other artist in there interacting with everyone, making jokes and kind of just doing silly stuff. So I think people do appreciate that, and that was actually going to be one of my next questions as well, is about that. I see you participating in the Discord and the subreddit, obviously more than pretty much any other artist, I think. Just really quick, do you have any teasers coming up for Gen 4 that we can look forward to in the next week or two?
You think I can answer that?
Well, I don't know. I've seen a lot of other artists post it, so I thought maybe you might be able to.
That's their choice personally. Me, do I have something? I don't know.
All right.
I don't know.
Unconfirmed. Chrono may or may not be participating in Gen 4. Cool. I think we're about to get kicked out, so just want to say, Chrono, thank you so much for doing this, man. I know this is my first interview that I'm doing with an artist here, so thank you for being the pilot program for doing this interview for my channel, man. I really appreciate it.
I'm the guinea pig for Broken Parachutes. I'm number one DJ artist, Chrono, aka WorstTwitchEver.
Right
It's
on,
been
man.
a pleasure here.
It's been a pleasure having you, dude. Cool. All right, folks, that's been Chrono, and we'll see you next time.
Bye bye.